So given that kind of contribution, the economic contribution that Russia has made, do you see Russia having much leverage over North Korea to sort of push it back into the top?
Well, you know, we have had a long relationship with North Korea. Of course, our relations with North Korea is less extensive than with our Chinese friends who have a much more extensive relationship. But we like to think that on the basis of our long-term relationship, the North Koreans would be more attentive to our advice. And the same complaint you can hear from all the other sort of members of the six-party talks, including our Chinese friends. I mean, we or the Chinese are not making any secret of the fact that we have given certain advice to North Koreans and they simply did not follow that advice, and that is too bad. That's why we were forced into a situation where the Security Council had to consider and pass a sanctions resolution against North Korea.
Sticking to the issue of nuclear proliferation, of course the Security Council has imposed sanctions on Iran. It seems to little avail at this point that Iran is continuing to flout Security Council demands to stop enriching uranium. How concerned is your country about Iran's program?
We are very concerned, and this is the whole area of non-proliferation, be it North Korea or Iran, is one of the most important focus issues of the Security Council, and I would say of the international community, and a very important element of commonality of views and positions and policies between the United States and Russia. We are expecting an answer from the Iranians. They have promised us an answer. They have promised that it's going to be a constructive answer. So, we would like to hope, and we strongly urge them to come up with a constructive answer. So, let's see how things come out. I mean, of course, it's no secret that some members, some participants in those discussions, some members of the international community are sort of losing patience with Iranians, but we believe that we need to have a cool head, and again, this is another situation where only political solution is possible, which would help things rather than exacerbate matters.
Do you have a sense of a timeline for when Iran will respond?
Well, unfortunately not. They are not giving us specific dates, and I think that the presidential elections and the political turmoil which they've had is not helping much. But they should not use it as a pretext to sort of indefinitely procrastinate in terms of their answer. I mean, we cannot be sitting there for years waiting for their answer. So, again, it's very important for them to come up with an answer, and it's very important for that answer to be constructive. Again, it's no secret that come the so-called ministerial week in the General Assembly, late September, there will be strong pressure exerted on the Security Council to come up with something new in terms of new sanctions against Iran if they do not deliver. We are sort of very cautious about that, and we are not engaging now in any discussions of any new sanctions, but it's obvious that when the ministers are here, that the pressure from various quarters will be there in order to deliver some new sanctions against Iran. And we don't need a new round before we have their response and a thorough discussion of their response, if it is, of course, of constructive nature, if we see that it is bringing things to some progress rather than taking the focus away from their nuclear enrichment program to other things.
What if they don't give an answer by the time of the general?
Well, I think I spoke at length describing our feelings and our policies, and we'll see when come late September. We'll see what the situation is.
So, but you're not ruling out further sanctions.
You know, at this point, I don't even want to talk about any further sanctions. What we want to see is their response, an analysis of that response, hopefully a discussion with them. If things go in the other direction, then we'll be in a different kind of a setup, and then we'll discuss that setup.